Welcome back. Today I'm going to be walking you through this look step by step. This is a very classic Christmas makeup look. It's perfect for the holiday season, and I love classic looks like this, ones that are very timeless. I feel like you could see this look from decades ago and you could still wear it today, obviously. I've done looks like this before, but I usually pair it with a matte red lip, but this year I wanted to add in a gloss because I feel like glossy lips are just very on trend right now. And I also went for a deeper, more like red berry lip because it matches my shirt. This is like one of my favorite tops for this season. But I just love the way that this turned out. Again, I feel like it's very timeless and perfect for the holiday season. So I hope that you like this video. I hope you like the look. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step and share all of my tips and tricks. Please subscribe and let's get started. Okay, well, I feel like it has been forever since I've done an actual sit down makeup tutorial. I was just in the mood to kick it old school and walk you through a classic Christmas look step by step. So I was in the need for a couple new makeup things. I haven't been making many purchases in general. I haven't been buying makeup for the last I don't know, I just haven't been buying a lot of makeup the last 2 years, I feel. And I ran out of primer. So it was time to get some new primer. And I've seen this all over TikTok. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So I thought I would give this a whirl and see how this goes. They also had one with niacinamide. I kept going back and forth between which one I wanted to do because niacinamide and me are best friends. Come on. Okay, this is what this primer looks like. Again, why is this not working? Okay, this is what this one looks like up close. But yeah, I love niacinamide because it's very nourishing on the skin and my skin just loves it, especially in the winter. Ooh, but I just wanted to get the one that like everyone's been talking about. Ooh, this definitely has a nice like stickiness to it, which is really nice for primer because then it just gives the illusion and the feel that like everything's gonna adhere and stick on. For foundation, I'm gonna use one of my personal favorites. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Sublime Foundation. I love this because it kind of reminds me of like a tinted moisturizer, but maybe a little bit fuller coverage than a tinted moisturizer. I just love the finish and everything that this gives. I'm gonna go in with my Fox 4 brush, pump this on the back of the hand, and then pick up the product with my brush. I feel like this just helps it so that you can get more control with the product so that you don't go overboard with foundation. It's very easy to just like pump this directly on your skin, pump it right in the brush. I do that all the time actually, mainly when I just don't feel like having makeup on my hands. But when you pick it up this way, you can use less product and distribute it more evenly and you end up using less of your product. So if you haven't tried that out, give that a whirl. And then for concealer, I've been mixing these two together. This is the Pat McGrath concealer that matches the foundation. But then I've been adding in the MAC Pro Longwear concealer in NW20. This is a very, very, very full coverage foundation, full coverage concealer. This to me kind of like was the rookie of full coverage concealer. This walked so that Tarte Shape Tape could run. We're gonna mix these two together today because this one goes a little bit more, I don't wanna say, well, it goes more sheer than the Pro Longwear. It's just a little bit more nourishing, where this, it can go on pretty matte and dry. The only downside is the packaging of this puts out way too much product. So I'm gonna put this under the eyes here. And then I've got this monstrous pimple over here. I'm gonna cover that up. Perfect. And then I'm gonna use a Faux 3 brush from Sigma and blend this in. Kind of like to just pat it in at first and then I'll blend it a little bit more. I've been loving cream contour again, so I've been using the Makeup by Mario contour stick in medium. I love this because it's not too dewy on my skin. Sometimes like cream contour products can go so dewy that where I'm wanting to contour, I don't want to be dewy. I want it to create like a shadow and be more matte. This doesn't go fully matte, but it's not like overly dewy either. So I'm gonna pick it up on my brush here. This is the 157 from Smith, and I go at the highest point of my cheekbone and just stipple it. And I go higher. You can see my shadow is down here. I go up here because as it blends, it's gonna fade. That way it keeps everything very like lifted. I have been loving this blush from Rare Beauty. It's a cream blush in Nearly Berry. It's very, very deep and just gorgeous. So if you have more fair skin like I do, you want to go in with a very light touch of this. You don't want to go too heavy-handed with it. If you have a deeper complexion, you can get away with adding more of this product because it's going to go on a little bit more naturally. But if you are more fair like me, let me show you how you can still use a product like this. I love the Hollywood Complexion brush from Charlotte Tilbury for this. I pick it up right in the center of the blush, just a couple very light taps, and I just start stippling it on the cheek. You can see it's barely adding any color because I barely tapped it in. I'm also holding it further from the bristles so that it goes on a lot more lightly. And then from there, you can just add a little bit more. If you go a little too heavy-handed with this and you have way too much pigment, number one, it's gonna fade. Blush is like the first thing that fades on the face, so don't worry. But number two, another thing you can do is go over it with your foundation and it will just kind of diffuse the color a little bit. But yeah, it is always easier to just go in with a lighter hand at first. Also, I think it's easier to go in with a brush rather than your fingers. You could use your fingers, no problem. But they're better used to blend things when you're warm. Like right now I'm very hot because it's like 70 degrees in my house right now, which is very warm for me. I usually keep my house at like 66. But if your hands are warm, it will be easier to like melt the product into the skin, where if your fingers are cold, it's gonna be harder for it to melt. So also keep that in mind depending on what you like to use to blend out your makeup with. I also like to bring my blush literally everywhere. Bring it on my forehead, I'll bring it on my neck. That way everything is very cohesive. A lot of times, like in everyday makeup looks, I'll even bring this on my eyes. Like I just like to bring it everywhere. I see a lot of people bring their blush on their nose actually. That's like the one place that I don't like to put my blush. I think because my nose naturally gets a little pink, especially in the winter time. So I personally refrain from putting it on my nose. But I have seen it where like people put this like over their nose and it looks really naturally flushed. That is very beautiful. It's just not my style. Okay, so now we've got the blush on. It just gives like a very natural flush. I'm gonna set my face with the shaping powders from MAC. I got a couple of comments saying that these are no longer available. You can't buy them in singles, but you can buy them in a palette. So I will link the palette down below. I actually need to order that palette because it has everything in there that I need. I like to use Emphasize and Accentuate and mix them together. These are two shaping powders from MAC. In that palette is also Bone Beige, which is my favorite contour color, which you can see is very well loved. In that palette is also Sculpt, which is another contour product that I love from MAC, as well as I think it's called Taupe. And then there must be another color in there, but it's like a full palette, kind of looks like this. I'll have to order it soon, but I will link it down below. It's got everything in there that you need. But yeah, I've been taking Emphasize, mixing it with Accentuate, and using that to set the under eye area. And also I've been using it to set the whole face, and I feel like my skin has just looked really alive and bright. I've also been loving the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I'll use that in an upcoming video so you can see what that looks like. But I wanted to show you this because it sets the face. I don't know, it just keeps it really bright looking and not too matte either. You can always customize it. Like I'm pretty fair, so I'm mixing these two together. If you are more tan, you just want to use Accentuate. If you're even more fair than me, you can go straight in with the Emphasize, and look, it gets really, really bright. For bronzer, I'm gonna grab Radiant Bronze Light, which this is a little bit more orangey than the diffused bronze light, but I'm gonna go in with a light hand of this because I don't want this to go on too intense, but just to add a little bit more bronziness to the skin. And I'm gonna bring this all the way down my chest because I have on a very low cut top and I want it all to be very cohesive. And I am very, very fair right now. You know, I love self-tanning, but it's just a lot of work sometimes. And I've been going to hot yoga, and anytime I'm tan or self-tanned and I'm doing hot yoga, it's just like dripping orange. And I'm like, I know nobody else cares and no one else is paying attention to the color of my sweat, but there's just something about it that like makes me uncomfortable. So I just haven't been self-tanning that much, but that's okay. I put bronzer all over. I'm gonna grab a little bit of Sculpt here. And if I can pick up some of this bone beige, that would be great. And just hit right here to add a little bit of sculptiness. Doesn't that side look like way more contoured? What the heck? And for highlighter, I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath highlighter because it's very neutral. I love this color. I'm gonna put this just right at my cheekbone, like the height of my cheekbone. Using my finger, I'm gonna do the center of the nose and the Cupid's bow. And to make this look very holiday-esque, I love whipping this out every Christmas season. This is the How Many Carats Diamond Bomb from Fenty. It just looks like this. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but in person it's very glittery and sparkly. So I like to take my finger and just pop this right on the cheekbones. And it's really hard to tell, but it just adds a little bit of sparkle. It's so much fun to whip this out for any kind of special event, special occasion, and especially during the Christmas season. For my eyebrows, I'm gonna start with the Too Faced Fluff and Hold Brow Gel and then follow up with the Glossier Boy Brow. Okay, lately I've been doing my makeup in my bathroom, and it just feels like every time I do my makeup in here, I don't know if it's because I can see more in here, like my makeup just doesn't look good in here anymore, and I don't know why. I think doing my makeup from far away just works out better, because right now I'm doing way too much to my eyebrows and they're not looking cute at all. And I just think it's because I'm like close up to them, I can see what I'm doing, and like I just add too much stuff. I don't know. It seems like every time I just do less, it just looks so much better. And it's not even that I'm trying to do too much, it's just I'm trying to fix things, and then it just like, I don't know. So the brows are not browing today. I just filled in a little bit with the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit and then went over it with the Clear Brow Gel. We'll see what it looks like at the end, but I think that we're in a good place right now, better than we were before. Okay, I'm gonna prime my eyes using the Painterly Paint Pot, my favorite. This will never go away for me unless I'm doing like a very natural look where I just don't even use primer. That happens a lot, but for something like today where we're gonna be going a little bit more glam, I always like to use a primer. So I'll use this first, just apply it with my fingers. Set with a little bit of powder. I'm just using whatever's left over on this brush. So I'm gonna be using the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. I love this. This is one of my favorite go-to palettes because it's got every color that you need in here for any skin tone, for any look. Even if you're gonna do something natural or something dramatic, this works. You've got every shade. Mario developed this based on skin tone, so it's just very unique and classic at the same time. Like, I just love this palette. So I'm gonna start by mixing this shade and this shade together just to give me a nice base for the look. Bringing this in the outer corner and then in the crease and almost connecting it into the nose contour over here. And then I'm just using the second shade by itself just to deepen it up a little bit now that we've got that base. Now I'm gonna go into a smaller brush. I'm gonna pick up these two shades and mix them together. Let's just start deepening the crease a little bit, giving it a little bit of definition. And then blend. I'm gonna grab this shade on a fluffy brush, just on the flat side, and just lay this flat on the lid to brighten up the lid. It's got a nice base going here. I'm also gonna take this lighter shade that we put on the lid and just really pack it on the lower lash line. Really brighten that up and cover up the lashes. And I'm gonna go in with my favorite liner. This is the Flash Cat Eyeliner from L'Oreal. I'm obsessed with this. This is the best liquid liner I've ever tried. If you want a full tutorial, I'll link my how-to eyeliner video up above in the info card. I'm starting with the L'Oreal Flash Cat Eye liner. This is my favorite, but it ran out, so then I switched to the Rare Beauty one, which is also really good. They're not totally even, but that's okay. Good enough for me. I'm now gonna grab, I think that brush that I used some darker shades with just to deepen up the crease just a little bit. Now that I've got the liner on, I can really get a feel for what the look is starting to look like. So I'm gonna mix in this shade just to deepen it up a little bit and just add some definition to the socket of the eye. And I'm gonna grab the Fenty Beauty Sparkles and we're gonna pop that on the lid to add some shimmer. Okay, I'm gonna apply some mascara to the top lashes. And then I'm popping on these lashes from Velour. I think these are the light and fluffy style. And then I just need to cover up the lash band. Okay, lashes are on. And now we can move on to the lips. And I wanna do a red lip, but I kinda wanna make it glossy. I feel like I've never done that before. At least not that I can think of. So I'm gonna start with the Makeup Forever 712 Either Cherry lip pencil. I'm gonna line and overline my lips. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of this Makeup Forever 10C lip liner. This is like more of a dark purple color. I'm gonna add that in because this is so bright. And then I'm gonna top this lip off with this Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balm. This is in the color Lychee. So I think I'm actually gonna put this on the back of my hand and then tap it on the lips. That's the color it comes out. So now that that is done, I'm gonna set my face with the Morphe setting spray. Okay, the look is now complete. I feel like this is just a more festive twist on my typical look that I do like this, where it's a dramatic wing with a little bit, not necessarily a cut crease, just more of a defined crease. We added a little bit of sparkle, and this glossy lip is just bringing it over the edge for me. I like that it really matches my top. And I have on these gold earrings from Miranda Fry, but I think some like silver hoops would be really pretty with this as well. Should I swap? You know what? I'm swapping out my gold hoops for my silver ones because I just feel like this matches the glitter a little bit better. I love any kind of look like this that has a more defined crease, a thick liner with a lash, and a naked lower lash line. I just think it's so glam. You can wear it casually with a normal regular outfit, or you can dress it up for a special occasion like a holiday party, a wedding, whatever. And I also just love this glossy lip. I feel like this is a nice twist on a very classic Christmas look because it just kind of brings it to the next level. You can obviously pair any lip with this, but I feel like this lip specifically is just very Christmassy. So if you end up recreating this, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your looks, and I hope that my tips and tricks were helpful. Again, I'll put that how-to eyeliner video down below too, so you can check it out and you can nail your eyeliner this season. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your look request down below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.